So it's like, basically, like, we just gotta say whatever. I feel like as long as you're not saying nothing that's like overtly like disrespectful or like promoting any type of hatred or violence towards any certain group, then it's like, if you got an opinion, like, you got an opinion, like, whether a lot of people agree with it or not, like, it you know what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like people nowadays, they focus on what is different between people. Like, if you let's say you mess with somebody like like streamer, athlete, whatever, you fuck with them or whatever, it's not like 100% that they say you might not agree on, and that's fine. Like, you can disagree with people on certain things and still either talk about it and, you know, in a respectful manner. And yeah, I lost my train of thought.
No, bro, I feel you though. Like, what was you saying? Because you said like the apps is gonna police you already, and you were saying something about people policing.
Yeah, like, that's why, like, all these apps and stuff, like, they like got community guidelines and terms and conditions and stuff where they already policing what people saying. So it's like, and now you got people policing people. Like, even with this whole mask stuff, bro, like, the whole thing is just compliance, and they've like, that's a term that they're trying to get etched like in our brain. Like, all these they brought up that term compliance for a reason. Like, and it's like, at the end of the day, we have strength in numbers, bro. Like, that's why they try to keep us divided. Like, imagine you go to the store and then everybody is not wearing a mask. But and it's places like that too, though. But it's like, I be thinking, like, you go into a store, like, it's been sometimes I went into a store with no mask and stuff. Yeah. But it's like,
and it feels so, like, it feels strange. It's like, nigga, it's been 24 plus months, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's crazy.
From supposedly a 2-week curve or a 2-week.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you're the only person that's going against it, now it's like, it's easy to like single them out and get them up out of here. And this goes not just to mass, even like with jobs and like laborers and stuff. Like, if you got one person who's going against the system, going against the company, they'll just fire him, replace him. But if you got 20, 30, 40 employees all on the same page, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, all the people who work, like, we're the backbone of, like, the drivers, the people who making minimum wage. Like, if all the people who be working all these minimum wage jobs and stuff, if they was just like, if they just decided, we're not going to work. All these people at the top, and with the, like, what they gonna do? Like,
boy, there'd be shit out of luck. I mean, that's what you see happening in Canada. You know, they're not even covering what happened in Canada. But, like, so they got the law, right? It's like, before it was truckers, you know, they're just going back and forth or whatever. Then they put the law saying you can't enter Canada without your shots, you know, or you can't. And then USA started it saying Canadian truck drivers, you can't enter USA without your shots and shit. And then so they got a protest, right? Truckers from all across the country in Canada drove up to the Capitol, and they parked their trucks right there in the middle of the Capitol. And they still parked there. I think up until yesterday, what is it now? February, like, 18th or something, bro. They ran up in there, and then they was removed. They came out there with the military police, you know, with the what are they called, paramilitary, you know. So these niggas was all out there with assault rifles and all the bulletproof vests and shit. Like, and that's the thing. They marched these puppet boys out there in all their armor and shit, just taking the orders, you know. And that's the thing. Like, I see people go out there in front of them when they standing out there in front of the police. They try to pray for them, and they just talk to them, and they just try to get them know, you know, like, you gotta pick what side of history you on, you know what I'm saying? And I hope all them police officers and shit go home and sit back and think at night, cause, like, that's the whole shit where that Blue Lives Matter crowd just be whack as fuck, you know, and just like y'all be supposedly conservative and supposedly standing for freedom. Okay, sure, we need some police, but, like, them same cops, you know, that's the turning points when the cops don't agree and don't go along with the shit, because those are the pawns on the chessboard, you know what I'm saying? Those are the guys on the front line to go face to face with the other quote unquote pawns, you know, the people as they see us, you know? And so, but that's what happened, bro. So they was out there protesting, and then the Prime Minister of Canada going invoke an emergency act. He calling them terrorists and shit. He seasoned their bank accounts, so then all their money gets frozen. They don't got no more car insurance, no more, you know, just season all that shit for these people. Just parking their cars in the Capitol, just not leaving, you know? There's a whole, like, I don't even know the numbers, bro. I heard 70,000, but who knows? It could be a lot more. But then and then they started a little blockade at the border with the United States too. They was blocking the trucks, from the border, and then they brought them military police niggas out there and snatch the niggas out of their trucks and arrest them and take them off, and then they tow the trucks away and open it up. And so I heard they was doing that out there in the capital city too. But that's all it takes, bro. Supposedly they're trying to plan a truckers protest out here in the United States. That would be wild if they did, bro. Like they've been working hard to make sure there ain't no protests out here. It's foul. Would you go to Washington D.C. if it was a big protest? They said we're all June 1st. We're all meeting in Washington D.C. Would you pull up?
No. What am I pulling up for?
Oh, I don't know, just for Flav.
No.
Okay, would you skip work if everybody in the country was just like they said, Would you? I'm saying, would you participate, or what would stop you? What's stopping you? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, no lie. Like I've already even the job I do now. I've kind of been on that kind of the workers get, because even I feel like the job I'm at right now, like the people who are doing the hardest work, we're not. But that's another story. I don't want to get too much into that, but
yeah.
But yeah, the people who it's with the whole Freemason and Illuminati and pyramid, when you think of the whole world, the whole world is a pyramid scheme. You got people at the top, few people who are controlling a bunch of other people. Yeah. 'Cause at the end of the day, bro, these politicians, CDC, Dr. Fauci, they're not God, bro. They're not I mean, I don't know. People is with green light with the whole Squid Games. That's what they doing. Green light, red light. Oh, put on your mask. Oh, you take off your mask. Oh, they just playing with us now, and it's I don't need them to dictate every part of my life, bro. I don't know. It's just.
You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to keep yourself healthy. You got a grandma and mama that taught you how to make soup and make some. You know what I'm saying? Even we got all these herbs and medicine. That's kind of thing. Difference between just the different generations and the styles of people in America. Some people still got the cultural identities where you got these cures, you know what I'm saying? These ways to keep yourself healthy, whether it's just from, just drinking hot tea and make some good food, or you know what I'm saying, taking herbs and taking different medicines and whatnot. But like you're saying, people know how to take care of themselves, but there's also a half of society now that's been ingrained into it. So then now you gotta have the pharmaceuticals, you know what I'm saying? There's people that take Tylenol every week. They got a headache every weekend. They're getting a headache and they just popping Tylenol. They don't know what's causing the headache, They don't get to the root of it, Or the same thing, it's just, I'm feeling depressed, or I can't focus, or whatever the physical problem might be. You go to a doctor and then you just go and get that little pharmaceutical, and they just have you keep on coming back. And you talk about Illuminati and shit, all that big pharma and the pharma, where even pharmacology and shit come from. That's that black magic, that they was concocting up there in Europe, What we see it in terms of media and movies, how we see it is the witches, you ever seen the imagery of witches, they're cooking up a potion, you know what I'm saying? Cooking up pots and potions. That's where pharmacology come out of, to try to get an effect out of the human body, And how they be concocting a lot of these medicines is from the herbs, from the plants. They take an extract from a plant or a herb, and then they concoct it with all types of other shit to try to get an exact desired effect, To, maybe lower your cholesterol or whatever, but it's nigga taking cholesterol medication and shit and then still eating greasy food, And it's just covering up the problems. Never. That shit doesn't take a holistic approach. That's kind of what I was getting at in terms of cultural families, or people just got some culture, might still look at things holistically, But then that whole pharmacology don't look at it at all. So they don't look at the whole picture, That same thing. You get a mDNA vaccine, whatever. Excuse me. I mean, shit, the language is already fucked up on here, But you get that mRNA, you know what I'm saying? And they're just looking at it on a super specific level. How do we create an immune response to this specific coronavirus, But then they're not taking into the fact of the whole holistic picture, you know what I'm saying? How is it going to affect the rest of the whole body, how is it going to affect people's hearts and people's veins and people's reproductive organs when they got these spike proteins flowing through them, you know? And that's the crazy shit. But yeah, bro, like you're saying, you don't. But back to your point, you don't need people to dictate shit for you, and that's kind of thing. I feel like they trying to start a dictatorship in all the countries, you know. Or a lot of the Western countries, they trying to push for some fascism or dictatorships.
The thing is, it's just like, so at the end of the day, like all these pharmaceutical companies, a lot of people have the belief that they have their best interests at heart when it's been proven multiple times throughout history that that's not the case. Like all these farmers, they trying to make money, and like you said, they pushed a pill or take this vaccine. They want you to depend on them for the health. They're not going to give you this one-time cure like, oh, take this, and they want to keep you, oh, take these boosters, take the vaccine, take the booster, keep making money from it. And then one thing I noticed is even with like porn, right? So you watch a lot of porn, it's called like porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Yet when you watch porn videos, you'll see advertisements for like, generic brand Viagra or take this. Yeah. So it's like they have like they're watching porn and like masturbating to it and shit in excessive amount causes like erectile issues. Yeah. Yet they're advertising on those same sites to the solution. So it's like
the fake solution, just the Band-Aid, not the Band-Aid, but just the cover-up solution.
It's like shooting somebody and then taking them to the hospital and then wanting to get thanked like, oh, thanks for you the one who caused it. Yeah. And also too, like it's not about health. 'Cause I mean, you see everywhere with the propaganda and stuff. Oh, take the vaccine and return back strong and healthy, or take the vaccine and to, I don't know. You see it on buses, billboards, it's everywhere, and it's like you've never seen anything like, oh, drink a gallon of water
a day, yeah,
or go on a 30-minute walk, or instead of, or even McDonald's,
eat fast food maximum one time a week, you know, or anything.
Exactly. Like even you got like Krispy Kreme and McDonald's, you got them pushing heavy on the vaccine, where it's like their food is what causes comorbidities that makes it worse, or so it's like that's kind of like
they make your immune system not even function in the first place to need to go get some mRNA in your.
So if this was really about health, like they could still push the vaccine and stuff, but they would have been pushing the other stuff on top of it, like drink your water, eat fruits and veggies, take your herbs and stuff like that. But they don't. They don't want people to be healthy. Yeah. Like they don't.
No, it's because that's what people starting to realize now in this past couple of years, is the whole like cycle. You know, it's a money making machine. You know, that just uses the consumer in a sense.
It's all just need too. Like whenever, if you need somebody for anything, like even like think of it like as simple as like your parents. Your parents have like as long as you stay with your parents, you staying with them, they're helping you some way, majorly financially. They're gonna always have some sort of say or have some type of influence over your life. But once you get on your own, you paying all your own bills and stuff. Not to say like, you can't listen to them.
No, yeah.
But it's like,
because they have that over your head. Because if you don't listen, they can kick you out or pull that out from under you. That's the same thing why they try to push all the aid programs and whatnot. It's not to say that people aren't poor, people don't need aid, but it's like it's been enough decades now to observe that like when you be flooding people's communities with just free shit, free aid, not just out here in the inner cities, but also in Africa when they be just trying to give them free shit and free aid all the time, it's then you can manipulate them, just like a parent, like then now you got that power over them. So then once you got them leaning on that crutch, then you won't just pull it away from people. But yeah, bro, even with them vaccines, like I seen a billboard, right? Southeast Portland. It was just a mom and her daughter, two brown-skinned folks, and they're just like, we got our vaccine questions answered at, Oregon.gov/vaccine. But it's like, what kind of questions did you have? Like, nigga, bro, there's questions that nobody knows the answers to, bro. And even a few people got the answers to, like, the trial data, the trial results when they were doing the testing for it, like they trying to have that shit sealed up for 75 years. You know what I'm saying? They not trying to release that shit for 75 years. Like, why is that? All the motherfuckers might be dead by the time they try to release that info. But then like, yeah, it's just the silliness. You know what I'm saying? So then the motherfuckers see that billboard we got our questions answered, you know? So it's like, okay, even if you go visit that website, okay, I got some information now. Now I know. But even the real pertinent shit that you need to know, nobody on earth knows. Nobody on earth knows what's going to happen to the kids in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Or in 5 years. Like, that's the biggest thing. And people just be so blind. They can't think past tonight, you know? They can't think past their dinner time, you know? Or can't think past the weekend to think, you know what I'm saying? Just think shit through sometime.
That's the whole point with bills and stuff, because most people got different stuff. They got bills, family, whatever they got to do their day-to-day life. So it's like you can't be thinking about 10 years of thinking heavily about, you got to worry about how I'm going to put food on the table, how I'm going to...
Yeah. That's a tough thing, bro. I guess that's like kind of our blessing in terms of our generation, in terms of the youth, you know? Like, we got this technology not only on our hands, but we also got like, I don't know, we got the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, even just there's all types of passive income streams, and you just look at like just the job market. People want to work from home, you know, people are demanding that they work from home, or they're quitting their jobs, or they're taking their talents elsewhere to other companies where they can work from home, just because it's a different generation now, you know. People value their time in different ways, you know. And so I guess that's just a blessing. We got the time on our hands to be able to just talk these ideas and share this information with people, you know, and just share what we thinking about, because we just normal people, you know. We're not celebrities or nothing, but we people going through the same shit as millions of other folks, you know, just going through it. So like, maybe our experiences can shed light for some other folks, you know, or give inspiration, or just give hope, or you know, just whatever, you know. People just, you know, let people know that they ain't alone. Like, because that's the thing, a lot of people have been isolated and whatnot, and even like you're saying, you can't really talk to everybody about certain things that you know. And so what I done seen is a lot of people just in their day-to-day life, day-to-day rotation, they feel so alone, you know. They feel like, because they got this information too, and now they feel like they can't, nobody knows what they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows like what they speaking on. And so it just, that's the cool thing about like these long form, these podcasts, radio shows, and these different, you know, independent news, I guess you could say, independent media on the internet, just give people a sense of, you know, community, I guess, online community, because, oh, these people are thinking the same way I'm thinking, you know, or, oh, these people, I'm not the only one out here that's just tripping, you know, because that's the whole point, is to make you think you're crazy and make you think you're tripping, but it's a reality. It's the majority of people around you is the ones that's tripping, you know, when you really just think things through, I guess. Yeah, bro. Wild times we're living in, man. Serious times.